Ahoy! It's Faz Radio time in Faz Radio land. We have some people here. We have Mr. Titan, we have Mr. Betty, and we have Mr. Forged in Crypto here to talk about all things Faz today.
That's right.
My 5 most favorite people outside of my house, all in one place.
The 5 most favorite people? Who's the
I'm giving the producer some love too, man. Come on.
Producer and yourself.
And himself.
Every single morning I get up, I look in the mirror, and my most favorite person in the whole world is staring right back at me.
Self-love is the best love, man.
Oh.
Come on.
You can't love yourself. You can't love anyone.
Quick, Titan. Shake your bottle, Titan.
Yeah, show some self-love.
And banned.
Yeah, demonetized.
Demonetized.
I think you have to get through the first 10 minutes before you can do something like that.
They stop watching. The mods are out of the place by then.
And they're out.
He's trying to avoid the YouTube censors. Normally he'll turn around and shake his bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we got some good stuff today. Got some updates from Gala. And what else we got, sir?
We're going to be looking at a game by the Midnight Society and talking about the infographic that is in the Forged in Crypto channel at CFA. And then we wanted to talk a little bit about tokenomics. And there's been a lot of chitter-chatter both in the Gala server and in CFA about ways to look at tokenomics a little bit differently.
So, Titan, you said you thought Brink was tweeting at Midnight Society. That he was tweeting at the Midnight Show.
Oh, okay. I remember the midnight part, and I'm like, no way.
Yeah, yep. You were close. You're close.
Damn.
But that would have been interesting.
That would have been... I don't think it would have been a good look for Gala. I think they would have been like, oh, damn, we're doing things differently around here.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, they got a team, dude. You look at the team. It's stacked for bringing the game out. So, but we'll talk Gala first.
Yeah.
Gala's on the line. You guys go. Take it away.
So Gala's talking like lots of Townstar recently. Are they ramping something up? Are they going to get to the they're going to get to the monetization part yet?
I don't think so. So they are. They've committed to getting to the earnings. However, they have still not committed to a date for said earnings to begin, from what I've been reading this week.
Have they been talking about it all this week?
They have talked about it, and they said they have confirmed 100 times because, of course, the when button keeps getting pushed. But they have not committed to a firm date on when that will begin again.
I keep seeing in the last month or so, they have like a new NFT every other day. And, of course, they're all non-earning NFTs. Do you think that they're trying to water down all the earning NFTs with non-earning ones?
They've done that since they shut things off. That was back last year, and it was under the guise, part of it was they were trying to get away from the pay to win back then. And people were saying, look, if you're professing this is for fun, then we'll buy cheap NFTs. They said, okay, well, if you're going to buy cheap NFTs, you're not getting earning ones then. So that's kind of how that transpired. Plus, without earnings, I think they knew they were going to shut it down before they actually said they knew they were going to shut it down. And they started selling the non-earning NFTs in preparation for no earnings. Yeah. And they want to make it a competition based. It seems like that's what my take is on it. And the problem, and I brought this up on a previous cast, the problem isn't that competitions are bad. The problem is that there's so many big, huge NFTs now that it is absolutely pay to win, both in the game and for competitions.
Okay, what if they got like 1 million players and all these smaller NFTs were everywhere? Well,
1 million players, they can't get more than 100 in a game.
How do you know?
Come on, man.
How do you know they can't get 100?
we've seen the results, and we have contacts.
Okay, we have to find out a way to verify this shit that you're throwing. Where do you
we have?
Where?
At the Mafia.
So the Mafia is telling you how many people are playing.
Yes, they have an API that connects directly to Gala for their leaderboard, and there's less than 100 people.
Look at this. Is there a website? I'm
their
trying
leaderboard.
To be, I'm trying to be informative here and give some data. I'm not going to just sit for people just shouting me down.
So I think exactly what he was. You can look at a couple different things. Both Gala had it, and when they were showing their leaderboard internally on Spider Tanks, and it was only showing like 800 and some odd people when you were looking at your play.
Well, that's not 100.
Hold on. Well, it's 8 times 100, so it's close. Now, the next was
8X,
the Mafia is doing the same thing where they're bringing in the API for their leaderboard in Spider Tanks to show who's actually playing Spider Tanks. So you can see where it's at. And that 800 was back when Spider Tanks was first earning. You're talking last November when it was 800. Mm-hmm. So I haven't been on the leaderboard lately.
Where can we find this information? Is there a website we can click on?
Mofapp.io.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. So the Mafia is giving accurate numbers as to the number of daily active users on Gala Games' website?
Yes, because they pull the data so that they can rank them on the leaderboard. And there was pushback on Timbo for that, and he said, no, we have the Gala API, and whoever's playing will show up on our leaderboard.
Mofapp.io? I don't think that's right.
The Mofapp? Isn't it Mofapp.io?
That's
Blake?
What I'm I thought it was Mof.io.
Yeah, the Mof.io is the website.
Okay, that's what I wanted.
Oh, the Mof.app. Mof.app.
The Mof.app. Okay. Just like I said, I'm just looking to confirm the stuff that Titan is saying, because I don't like it when people just blow shit out their ass and say, oh no, it's this. I want people to be able to look at this on a daily basis if they so chose, and be able to see for themselves all the shit that Faz Radio is blowing up their ass.
Would you just look at it?
Yeah. So the website doesn't say dick about their numbers.
You have to be a member, and you have to log in, and there's screenshots that they've posted before that shows that.
Okay, so see how you're changing the story as it
I'm
goes
not
along?
changing the story. Are you a member at the MOF?
Like everybody who's anybody knows this shit, and it's like, oh, you have to be a member of the MOF in order to see this. Okay, I see how it is.
Yeah, you've got to be active in the community, yo.
Oh, you have to be active in the community now too.
You have not even taken your hammer over to Nate's Discord yet, from what I hear.
He's missing out on all sorts of stuff.
Yes, he is.
All sorts of stuff.
Really cool stuff too, man.
You guys are missing out on some stuff in my life too, so I'm keeping pretty busy.
We've been making some cool AI pictures in the Forge Discord. The Midjourney bot is really cool. Yes. Have you tried that, Faz? Oh, you gotta try that. Titan tried to. He did a couple things, but he did it wrong. So hopefully he'll figure it out later. But
yeah. I got poked at right away. I'm like, shit! I knew it, because I had no idea what I was doing. So I was watching a video as I'm trying to do this.
I posted their their command stuff off their Git book. It's just pretty explanatory, pretty easy to follow. It's fun stuff. So
what's the channel? It's in the Forged in Crypto Discord.
Yeah, it's under Midjourney.
You have to have the hammer.
You've got to connect it.
He's got to connect though.
How do you get a hammer?
You already have a hammer.
I sent you one a long time ago.
Okay.
He's got like 74 wallets. Let's watch him see how long it takes him to find it.
Well, speaking of Spider Tanks though too, I watched I listened to the AMA with Classic Crypto and what's his name? Chair Bandit. I like Chair Bandit a lot. Like he's very knowledgeable in Spider Tanks and gaming. He speaks really well, and he's super stoked for what he does. So I really like listening to him and what he has to say. The thing is I didn't think that it was worthy of an AMA. There wasn't a whole lot there. It was more of like a 5-minute, here's some cool things that might be coming. So, and they dropped the one. So in Spider Tanks, I think they dropped the fact that you can now choose your.
Okay, the dogs aren't coming from Titan. Where's the dogs coming from?
He's muting me, thinking I had the dogs barking.
Yeah, it's not like you have dogs that bark.
Mine do. Hold on.
Go slap around me.
I don't have a dog.
See how he does that? He automatically thinks it's me all the time.
Well,
We'll see. I closed the door. They're downstairs, so. But the door is open. My wife brought me a beer, so.
That's nice.
Nice. There you go.
She is nice. I like her a lot.
I hope so.
But anyway, so they teased. I mean, they talked about the same thing that they dropped on Twitter and in the Discord about the ability to change your setup before the actual match starts, which is, I think, it's huge and it should have happened a long time ago. But it's one of the things that's going to be implemented. Supposedly, this new build for Spider Tanks, it's not changing the game, but there's just a boatload of bug fixes. There's just a ton of like new gameplay potential that's going to be in it and different types of games. A whole lot of like upgrades to the whole system itself. There was no details given outside of the one that was already dropped, but just that there was a lot and it's coming soon. So
there's been a lot of hype in this last week.
Well, so they're alluding to something big, but they never said it nor confirmed it. They made a big deal that they've taken it from 36 gigabytes down to like 9 gigabytes. Hint, hint, that's what mobile games run. Hint, hint.
It could also be that they've optimized the code too.
Well, that's what they said they did. But then it was hinted around that's the size of mobile.
If Spider Tanks goes mobile, I'll be really happy. I would love to play Spider Tanks mobile.
I'd like to see
I've said that forever.
I'd like to see how easy it's going to be because those tanks are pretty small on the screen on the PC.
The controls are different. I've seen how they do the controls on games like that, and it's really easy.
Yeah, I think it would be easier than you would think. Like it's
2 thumbs.
There's a lot of games that utilize it already.
Is your fingers on the screen itself when you play?
No, just your thumbs.
On the screen.
Yes, but it's like usually takes up like it's like you can kind of do it wherever, like it's like responsive to wherever you want it.
I'm just thinking real estate wise. That's all. On the screen.
Download Brawl Stars. I mean, it's a 3v3 similar type of whatever the hell they call it. It's a similar type of game. Download that on your phone. Just see it. It's built for it. Really, it will be a great game on mobile. No joke. And having a mobile platform and to be able to push that out to it, I think is fantastic. And I love the idea.
If it's mobile, then the game setup better be a lot quicker and easier. I mean, I better be able to jump into a game just like bam.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why they've been waiting so long to put any updates out, right? Because they really got to push it to mobile, and that's what it's going to do. I mean, that's my guess.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more people who will at least download it and try it, I think, on mobile. Whether they stay, I mean, who knows? I can see it being something that people would play as an idler. I think the whole onboarding is where they might have the issues. But for the free play, I could see a lot of people playing it just to play it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so, too. 100%.
Well, but that's for the earners. That's where they'll get burned because if you have a ton of free players, they're not contributing to the pool that gets distributed. So then there'll be criers about that, of course.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. You got to have free players because you got to have the players in the game. I don't care.
Right, matchmaking will be better.
And that's what makes the game better because then those free players will turn into people that are going to buy stuff in game. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially if it's a decent game. So bring on the players. That's the way to go.
There's the people that you advertise to. So, I mean, once you have somebody, you have a captive audience to amp up what they can do with the game if the game is really good.
I don't think it's really good. I think it's decent, at least at this point. It's playable. I don't see it being an e-sport or anything along those lines yet.
Betty is our in-house resident gaming consultant. What does he say?
It's Game Guru. He's a game guru. It says right in his little tag.
Yeah, at this point, it's not something I play in the free time, unless I'm playing it for moth purposes. Because that's where the fun of it is for me right now, is when I'm able to play to get moth rewards and play in the moth leaderboards, because one, you can't really bridge anything out of Jiri, and two, I mean, I don't know. I don't like games. I've always been against the honor system. I get it, but it's just, when things like that start becoming major points in the game itself, I'm like, well, they're just not. I don't think they're focused enough on the game.
Have they even talked about fixing the honor system or making it easier or making whatever?
They've talked about it. Yeah, they've made hints at it. They've actually made some changes to it.
They loosened
Recently,
it a bit.
they loosened it. Look, as much as I hate the honor system, and I don't think it should be there, I think I understand why they did it, because they don't have the players and they can't just bleed out the earnings. They can't just burn it dry. So I hate it. I can't even get anything out because I can't put Gala on to Geary to then bridge it off.
So if they get more players, will things loosen up more and you'd be able to pull out more money?
I would imagine so. I mean,
if they're crypto players, yes, because the whole economy evolves around what people are spending. So the pool of what gets paid out is dependent on when people upgrade and when people buy stuff.
But I don't think they have to be crypto players, though, as in sorry, the earners are crypto players. But the entire ecosystem that the earners get from are all players that spend.
That spend crypto. Credit card sales don't count.
It'll change. They've already.
I can't see it.
Guarantee it.
Because Titan and Forged are actually arguing amongst them.
Oh, we're actually gonna fight. Bring it.
Wow, that's a nasty 5-piece.
Yeah, it's okay. Next time, Titan.
Right?
You can't bring your cane though. All right, you're not allowed.
Wow. No more beer for you during these things. You're a mean drunk.
I haven't had a drink on this podcast in weeks, dude.
I know, right? Me neither. No, so moving kind of along a little bit. So according to announcements today, the Miranda's Tavern Games is apparently live, and it's for real copper coins. You can gamble in a den that is zero and just play for fun, learn how to do it and all that stuff, and then you can play for real copper. Their announcement said you will pay for your losses.
Huh? That's
cool. I played the first. I haven't jumped into this most recent one. I definitely will be, but I played the past Tavern Games when those were first released, and it was just. I mean, I was like, I could go to any online casino and play the same thing with more people, to a degree, because the games themselves are just so simple. And I'm like, if you're gonna play for free, there's a bunch. I get it, like, it's once it's a part of the overall ecosystem for the game, I think it'll be better. But as an individual, I don't know.
That's a good point about the casino business. A bit. Is this technically set up like a casino?
No, it's because they're games, but I mean, it's, you're shooting dice, basically, or you're playing, it's like it's those types of games that are, I don't know, similar to what you'd find in any game that mimics a casino or online casino. So it wasn't anything special, I guess, is what I'm really trying to get at, is what I felt. But if it's a part of the bigger overall game and, you're running through a town and you want to stop in and play a couple games real quick, yeah, that's a way more immersive. So I do think it will have value.
So we do have 2 complaints I just got lodged. You got to sit still, Faz. You keep fading in and out and you're aggravating people. Because of your green screen thing.
Oh, my non-green screen.
Yeah, every time you move, you disappear.
He's gone.
Okay.
He's back. He's in.
I can
So
turn that shit off.
the Miranda's playtest, according to everything I've been reading, is still on. It should start very soon. I would imagine they're going to probably gatekeep the first, couple hundred people in there. There's a lot of people. This one is said to be on multiple servers with multiple areas and everything else, kind of like the TWDE, where you can kind of fold into some different areas and see different things. So this should be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
All right, we got our Gala stuff rolling. So, Betty, what do you got for us from the Midnight Society today?
Hold on,
Yeah.
just real quick though. I'm really excited about this. I haven't even seen this.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of this. I was gonna get some play in yesterday because we got a couple NFTs and we could get in, but I didn't get a chance to. So I'm super stoked to see what this is.
So
Nice.
so let me give you a little background first. It is so Midnight Society is a new gaming company that's being developed by people that are really prevalent in the current like Web 2 gaming space. Like the biggest, namely, it's being spearheaded by this streamer named Dr. Disrespect. He was at one point one of the biggest streamers on Twitch and then got banned for kind of some unknown reason and ended up suing them or got like a settlement. And so now he's just purely on YouTube. And I think he has like 4+ million subscribers, but competes in a lot of Call of Duty tournaments and stuff. Used to actually work for Activision as a map developer for Call of Duty. So him and a bunch of other really high class gaming devs that have basically only ever worked in the Web 2 space formed a company because they were just tired of the way that the current games they were all playing in tournaments, just playing on stream, were just operating. They were, they're like, we've seen it time and time again. People don't listen to the community. We say we want this. They basically do the opposite. Like, we have enough money and resources now. Let's just do it ourselves. So, a lot of people that worked for Activision on the Call of Duty franchise, a bunch of Halo developers, Gears of War, just to name a few. They're developing a game called Deadrop. And so it's what they call a vertical extraction shooter, which is basically, there's a game out there that's really popular called Legend of Tarkov. So basically every game you enter in, you have, I don't know exactly what the time is, maybe 20 minutes to go around, kill people, do whatever you want. You have your loot. You can then extract once the time is up. You can get to an extraction point, and anything you make back to your base, you can put in like your storage and stuff like that and upgrade your weapons. But if you die out on the battlefield, everything you had on you from your inventory, every gun, it's lost. And then you reset in your garage.
Wow.
So it's, a lot of risk, a lot of reward in that sense, where you kind of almost don't want to take your best gun every once in a while because you don't want to lose it. And so it's kind of mixing that with a lot of like the battle royale style of games that we're seeing a lot, like Grit is Gala's example, PUBG, Warzone, Apex, just to name a few. So but their process for how they wanted to go about bringing people in is they were like, well, it's going to be a completely free to play game. And they haven't talked at all about a token. And they haven't really talked too much more about future NFT sales outside of what they call access passes. So last year in the summer, about 9 months ago or so, they sold 10,000 founders access passes for $50. They minted them, and you had to apply to be one of the founders. And basically the application was, okay, why do you want to be a part of this? What do you want to do for the community? Like, what's basically just kind of vetting people. They wanted the founders edition to be people that were doing it for the right reason. Those are now, you can buy them on OpenSea, they're fully exchangeable, but basically the access passes give you access to all of the behind the scenes stuff. So right now, as it's in development, and I'll show you, the game's in pretty early development still, and you'll see that, but they're not forcing people to be along for the ride at a paid level. If you want to be along for the ride and see the development as it happens and be a part of the voting process for snapshots, for like game improvements, design suggestions, things like that, then you buy in. so kind of that you're paying for the VIP experience of being a part of the developmental journey instead of paying for in-game assets or paying to win in any capacity.
So you mentioned it was a little bit early. So how long have they been developing this game?
This got announced basically in summer of last year. So so they've had 3 snapshots so far. So basically every couple months, all of the Founders Pass holders, you can, as you're playing the game, you can give feedback and stuff, and then they hold snapshots basically with a bunch of core things like bug fixes, weapon improvements, things like that that they want to implement as priorities. And they let the community decide, okay, what's the next thing up you want to see? Do you want us to deploy, this? Do you want us to deploy this? So the next snapshot is on March 17th, and it's actually in Arlington, Texas, and they're doing it. It's an in-person event, and they're doing it at like one of the massive esports venues.
Wow.
I think it's actually like where Optic Texas plays like in their esports tournaments at. And so you can actually like register. It's going to be an online event. It's going to be fully live streamed, but you can actually register to go be a part of it in person completely for free if you want to. You kind of get pushed to the top of the list, I believe, if you have a Founders Access Pass. So let me show you. Let's start showing some footage here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That infographic, for that one page that it is, barely touches on the stuff that
doesn't touch anything.
This is an exciting one, like an exciting game. So,
and I think one of the most exciting parts for it for me is the fact of who's building it. I mean, the fact that, I watch Dr. Disrespect all the time because I think he's hilarious. But as soon as that becomes, as soon as people start seeing him play it on stream and they know it's his game and he's actually listening to the audience, I really just think it will take a new level, go to a new level. Or I want this to be, let me do this. I have my, I'll turn on a little bit of the sound. Okay. So this is like your home, like when you first launch in, this is what you get to. So, I was just kind of messing around. Oh, is it paused? I don't know if it's paused or not. Oh, there we go. Is the video stopping for you guys as well?
yes,
Oh, that's so weird. Let me try.
hit the little triangle that says play.
Well, I can play it like this, but then it's just in the screen there.
Who's drinking?
Not me. I'm God. It's empty.
Let me try something though, real quick. Let me readjust. Let me reshare my screen. Sorry about that.
It's okay. We'll forgive you.
Appreciate it.
Let's see here.
Okay. So let me back it up. Now is it working okay?
It's stuff.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep, looks good.
Okay. So this is like when you first launch in. This is like what you're greeted with. And you're going to kind of see me. This is when I first got into the game, so I was just really exploring. So that play section is where you can first, you can launch the current PvP that's available. Armories where you can view any of your guns that you've collected in game. Garage. The vehicles aren't implemented yet into the game, but you can collect. You'll see what you can collect, and you can customize your vehicles. And then that stash section I kind of briefly showed is where you store all of your found assets when you extract.
This is crisp already.
This looks all right. So my initial impression, this looks exactly like my kid's Oculus game. That we play.
Is it Contractors or is it?
No. It's the game that I played. I'm okay at the virtual reality shooters.
I have one. It's fun.
Shoot. I forget the name. He's watching too. He'll tell me what it is. But it looks snappy and responsive too. There's no lag. Now, do you think that this thing's going to get bogged down by adding vehicles and all that other stuff?
I mean, yes and no. I would say yes, because obviously once you start adding more textures and you start allowing for higher frame rates, because I have my frame rate counter showed up there, but it's really not very responsive. And so I wouldn't say it's to. I just prefacing. I'm gonna fall to my death like 5 or 6 times probably. Like but so one other thing that was really cool. So the whole time as I was doing this, I was in their Discord and I was just asking questions. I was like, "Hey, I just got a founder's pass. You know, what's the deal? What should I go explore?" There was a ton of people like, "Hey, like," and you'll kind of see more when I was waiting for a game. It was taking a while to start because I guess just no one was in the queue because I think most people are just kind of waiting for the snapshot, waiting to see what's next. And so I went in, I was like, "Oh, hey, is no one playing? Is there any way for me to get on?" And someone was like, "Oh, I don't think there's anyone in the queue, but yeah, no, I'll hop on right now so you can experience it. And if you have any questions, I can help point them around to you." And I was like, "Oh, thank you so much. Like, that's awesome." But,
Resident Evil, that was it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the one reason I would think as it starts getting, and I would even say when I was playing it, it looks more crisp than this because the game capture just isn't the best. And then I had to edit it in Clipchamp because it cropped it to a really weird angle. Yeah, there's number 1. And it just respawns you back to your beginning base.
There's number 1.
There's number 1. But let me even skip ahead from me just running around aimlessly. I was just kind of exploring, just seeing what I could all interact with. I noticed the zip lines. I didn't figure them out. Those caused a couple deaths. It took me a little bit to figure out how to use the zip lines, but then I got some pointers from the people in the Discord.
So are you just right now? This is just wandering around and looking at all the different spaces.
Yep, this is just like an open world space right here.
You have died.
I have.
So you would, in the real game part, you would have lost your gun and everything else then.
Yes, that I had on me right there. And then I was like,
now,
"Oh, shooting range."
Do you go get to pick up other people's guns when they die?
Yes, and then you'll see more. Granted, in the game that I was playing, I didn't experience any PvP combat because you'll see how big the map is, and it was just me and one other person. But they said they were going to put together some PvP footage that they took because they were like, I was playing in a full server not that long ago, and they're like, it's really fun on a full server even for how early it is. So I'll show you some of that gameplay. But you'll see the game, and the gameplay that I show is just more of me kind of showcasing the controls, the movement mechanics. There's a slide mechanic. I mean, there's all the typical. There's actually even a lean mechanic, kind of similar to like Rainbow Six Siege. Granted, I can only figure out how to lean one way, but we'll get there.
You know what? I lean one way, and that's towards Nerd Node when it comes to my node needs. When you have nodes that you need run, you need to go to nerdnode.io. $25 per month per node. You get white glove service from Nerd Node. They will it's an easy, quick onboarding. Gala Music is supposedly launching their music nodes at the end of this month, which means that thing needs to be running. You've built up your decibels. You have about 170 Gala tokens a day coming to you via the founders nodes. Get them over there. Let them handle it. You just go do your stuff, man. You come over here. You play these midnight games. Have a ball. Don't worry about your nodes. Nerdnode.io. Do not forget. Visit today.
So I'm actually going to go to I cut it in 2 videos. This was just kind of me exploring, and this is it. The rest of this video for the next couple minutes is just me running around doing the same type of thing. So this is all going to be, I mean, I don't know exactly what this space would become. I would imagine this is where you're going to be able to customize your car. You'll be able to, I would hopefully imagine, interact with people that are also just kind of waiting in the queue, kind of almost like just a waiting area. So, and then I was just waiting in the rest of this. So I'm going to cut to the other video.
So can you play, is this designed for teams or is this designed for solo? Because I saw matchmaking pop up there.
So that's what I'm going to showcase now is me when I'm in the match. Right now, I think it's all solo based. I would assume though, I mean, like any of the games that kind of follow this process of that kind of battle royale or extraction style, I guess they kind of do it one of 2 ways. Some of them will have multiple options. Like, yeah, you can queue as a solo individual in one server. You can do it as duos. You can do it in a team of 4. Other ones like Tarkov are you just join the server as in everyone's 1v1. There's friendly fire on, like you can kill your teammates. you just team up with people in the real world through like proximity chat. That's one thing I noticed when I was playing is there's directional proximity chat in this game. So like if someone's in a tower above you to the right and they say something, it'll come through like they're up and to the right.
So it's going to be a shit show is what you're telling me.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. That's the only reason I play Warzone right now is because of prox chat. I mean, this is what we do. We get in a helicopter, and I'm not kidding. We get in a helicopter, and then one of us will get and just start playing. Oh my gosh, how am I forgetting the name? Fortunate Son, in like their thing super close, and then we'll just like pick out someone on the map and go fly a helicopter at him, and we're all shooting at him from the helicopter, and Fortunate Son is playing. It's hilarious. We're like, oh, this is great. And then you can hear people screaming when you sneak up on them, and it's granted you hear a lot of foul things, but that's just part of gaming.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, exactly. So let me pull up this other one here. So this is once I'm in the game. So basically, yeah, where you saw me queuing for a game and like selecting, this is just me once I was in the game itself. So you'll see it's it's blocked out, right? The designs are not there yet. So you really see behind the walls of, okay, this is we can see all the raw assets, and that was one in the last snapshots. They added more of these raw assets, and they asked people, okay, do you want more crouching barriers? Do we, what kind of like loot placements, things like that, do we want to see?
That does look very, very sharp for something that's only been probably like a year and a half in development.
And you'll see, I'm getting over 100 frames, which is really good for how early it is. But, this is what so essentially this is what you're paying for. If you want to buy into the game, you're paying to be a part of this. You want to be a part of the development journey. You want to be working with Dr. Disrespect to whatever degree that you can, right? You want to be voting in changes to the game. That's how you involve yourself in the community. Granted, anyone in the community can, voice their opinion.
You're right. But that's something that we've talked about at length with Gala or any of these Web3 games, is being able to be a part of it. If you're paying thousands of dollars for NFTs that may not be apparently 10 years, because ChatGPT told us it's 10 years down the road, like at least let us be a part of the development, man. Let us see this part. Let us voice our opinion. We're the ones that are playing the game. We're the ones that are here for a reason. Like, good God, this is great. Love it.
And the other thing is, if you are a Founders Pass holder, you did, along with your Founders Pass. And so these things you'll see me getting right here, right? So that's just ammo. And those other things are just sellable items. Because you'll be able to, in your home screen, I would assume eventually, there'll be like vendors, right? Where you can buy, here's number 3.
Love it.
So the gun I was just holding is gone now, right? All that stuff I had in my backpack is gone because I didn't extract with it. I died. So let me skip ahead a little bit to where I get back in.
So like you can play and then extract, drop some of your loot off, and then go back in, and then you won't lose what you extracted before you went back in.
So it's kind of, and then whatever you want to redeploy with is whatever you're risking to lose.
Okay.
Which I think that's talked about with Miranda's too, right? Is the ability that your stuff that you have on you, if you die, you lose. But so where a lot of this, and when I say this because I'm a vault holder, like these people that own vaults, you can go and you can place your stuff in these vaults if you're going to go out on a mission that you might die on or something.
Mm-hmm. So I was in the person I was playing with was like, did you just fall? And I was like, yeah. They're like, did you try to use a zip line? I was like, yeah. They're like, put your gun away with X and then interact with it. And I was like, thank you. I was like, I did not. Yeah, I was like, that's exactly what happened. They're like, They're like, it's gonna happen to you more times than you think it should. They're like, They're like, it happened to me so many times.
So it's not just getting shot. You can run into something and run out of health.
Yeah, and there's even, and I don't know if this is going to stay in the game forever, but you'll see there's even healing stations around the map. So like if you do take some damage, you can go and it takes like probably 5 seconds to heal. So I was like, oh, can I not equip these things to my gun? Only once you've extracted with them in your armory, what I showed earlier, that's where you can then, you can't edit anything in game, obviously. But yeah, so like that color palette I just found, like I can make my car blue now if I extract with that. And I would assume it's going to become similar things with. I can imagine going two ways with like weapon skins of things of that nature. I think a lot of it will just be you'll be able to find it like this, but I would also imagine through certain challenges and things like that, you might be able to.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's cool.
There's a healing station. Yeah.
Now you touched on this. Isn't there like a big announcement coming up on the 17th of this month?
Yeah. So the 17th, it's pretty cryptic. You know, if you go to like their Twitter, it basically just says 3.17.23. Like that's all you can find. And then you go on your website, like the first thing it says is a vertical extraction shooter, enter the tower March 17th. So I would assume there's going to be another. This is their next snapshot, their 5th. So I would assume this would just be the next big development in. I don't know. That's what's going to be so cool, right? I can. On the 18th, I'll be able to get on, and the game will probably look a lot different. But it's open the entire time. I mean, granted, it might go down time and time again for like server updates and little things like that. But I mean, that's going down for an hour max, and then it's right back up. So you get to see all the deployments in real time. I mean, that's what you're paying for instead of paying. I mean, and they put it in what I kind of thought was cool too is, it was a $50 price tag. That's what you pay for a game. Like that's
right.
It's not outlandish. It's something that, I mean, if the most recent Harry Potter game I just played was $70, and so it was like it's even cheaper. There's.
You mentioned there's not going to be a token, so is there in-game purchases then going to be available?
So that's where there's not a ton of information. So what they have said so far is there's eventually going to be in-game guilds. And those guilds are going to be basically in charge of the creator economy. So basically, they will be able to craft skins, craft new weapons with upgrades, things like that, and then sell them on a secondary marketplace is my assumption. Like whether it's an internal marketplace, whether it's something those become NFTs. I would imagine, though, because of the background of these people and just because of the way the current landscape is, it's going to be a Web3 game that's about as close to Web2 as you can get, is what I think.
That's a good start. Faz just mentioned that he has to dip out a little bit early today.
Yep.
So we're gonna carry on without him. We'll wrap up the show here in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can go on longer. I was trying to make things shorter because I had a scheduling conflict. However, I mean, if you guys are having fun talking about the game, and I know
I always have fun.
We're going to be talking about other stuff. If you guys are having fun, keep it going.
Let's keep it going.
So I'm going to head out, and I will see you guys tomorrow and talk to Titan afterward about some things.
Righto.
See you, Faz.
We'll see you later. This is really impressing me.
Yeah, and I mean, my favorite thing about it is it's just so simple. I mean, it's the one thing I don't like. But I totally understand, is when you purchase a Founder's Pass and hold it in your MetaMask or something, to get access to the game, you have to transfer it to an in-game custodial wallet that they provide.
I hate that.
Ooh.
Which,
yeah.
Granted, I know why they do it, to get rid of, any transactional fees, make it so like those events aren't any in-game events that happen with your NFT aren't like taxable transactions, things like that alleviate some of the issues that are currently plaguing Web3 games. That being said, yeah, I don't ever like it when you have to.
Yeah, you're putting you're putting your assets on a completely different wallet.
Granted, they do have multiple. I mean, it seems as the one reason I am somewhat, I guess, not as concerned with it is I think because of how large the audience of the people building this already have. I mean, if they did do something to put everyone's assets at risks and then didn't turn around to make it right or do whatever they could to, fix the issue, they're kind of ruined in the public eye. And so I do think that would be a big consideration. I mean, I would just hope it would be. So maybe that's a slight, silver lining, but I don't know.
No, it could be for sure. I mean, the more people that are in the actual the limelight, then they have to abide by certain rules.
Well, yeah, I mean that's Dr. Disrespect's whole brand is streaming and esports competitions, and he calls himself I mean, I don't know if this is true. I think it is, but like his claim to fame is he's the 2-time, like 1993, 1994, I don't know, something state champion for video games. And so he's like, you're talking to the 2-time. So it's like, and that's his whole, and that's like one of his main shticks is he's like, you're talking to the 2-time right now? Like, do you know who? And
what
so,
was he the 2-time champion of?
I
Super
don't
Mario
even know.
Bros.
Something like that, yeah. Like,
was it between him and his brother?
I don't know, but it's. I was like, that's hilarious, and then I found a new pistol, and I was like, nice, I like this one.
But, yeah, you sent me some videos of his, and I was like, oh, this guy's cracking me up. So.
Oh no, but he has a whole brand, right? And he's intertwined. I mean, he does like competitions with Ninja, who's arguably the biggest streamer. He does competitions with Tim the Tapman, all these big name streamers that have. I mean, in essence, built their entire lives on this. So I would feel like they're going to do things the right way to not jeopardize their position. Yeah. So I think, yeah, you hope, right?
Yeah, but it's
got to be cautious still.
Always.
So with this team, you mentioned, some really big games that these people have been a part of. What brought them together? Do you know?
I think the common. They all saw the lack, or I guess they all saw what like current gaming industries were missing. I mean, there's so many times. I mean, especially I think for me, it's easy to keep calling back to Call of Duty because that's what I have the most experience with. But I mean, there's so many times where the entire, like even right now, they just did a big release. There's one shotgun in the game that 95% of people use, and it's really it's so boring. It's gotten to the point where it's like, okay, why use anything else when you get 2-tapped by this dragon's breath shotgun every time you enter a room? It's like, and then so you have to, I don't know. And so the community has obviously voiced their opinions about this, and we probably won't see a fix for it for months. And so I think the goal with this is, they can respond to those changes quickly because they have a system through like snapshot voting and Web3 technology to where they can garner the public opinion a lot faster.
Is it overwhelming in their Discord and on their platform to where you get drowned out by other people?
Quite the opposite. Like their Discord is probably one of the most organized I've been in the sense of there's few channels. Like it's very simple. They have a very well put together like user protocols page, like how to use the specific channels within their Discord, and they'll correct you if you're wrong. And so you go to the right places for the right things, and you don't get bogged down, like you said, with all those other, with all the other stuff.
Yeah, sometimes the fire hose can distract from what they're trying to do, and it appears that they are 1,000% focused on the game portion, instead of all the stuff around it and the sales and the tokenomics and everything else. They just want to make something that people want to play.
And one other thing worth mentioning that I haven't mentioned yet is they also so those with Founders Pass, so everyone kind of like, if you're just get into the, like when the game's fully free to play and it first comes out and you first get into the game, you're called what they call you a claw. And then if you're an access pass holder, you're then called a variant. And so if you own an access pass, you can separate them. So the access pass comes with a 1-of-1 NFT. And that NFT is a visor that is shown on your character in game. And so there's only 10,000 of them that will ever exist for the Founders Edition, and they range in rarity and design style or whatever. But you can sell your access pass, and when you sell your access pass, the NFTs goes with it. Or if you have an access pass and you want to trade NFTs with another access pass holder, you can just swap your NFTs within their system. And so the other thing they've mentioned is, obviously it's yours. So the monetization potentials, I think, from individuals that own, really high value in-game assets, you can kind of create your own value to a degree, I think is part of the route they're trying to go down, because they have not once said this is going to be an earning game.
Yeah. That's kind of huge.
We got a lot of comments. I think we should talk about a couple of them. They're talking about the game. One, they're talking about Dr. Disrespect and his 2-time champion. A couple of jokes like NBA Jam and Sonic the Hedgehog. He was 2-time champion. Or and then let's see. I think he makes a good point though. Is he's pointing out the fact that it was M Ice. The whole concept of him mentioning a 2-time champion is probably a reference to movies like Napoleon Dynamite, which I agree. Like, I'm a 2-time champion, and that's what Uncle Rico is always saying in Napoleon Dynamite. Apparently, Zorro and Betty are going to team up and play a little Warzone. Like to see that.
Love it.
Bring it
nice.
I love it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
No, I mean it's I'll even skip ahead a little bit to when I get to the extraction portion of it, because I want to show you guys that as well. Oh, so you'll see, I guess in my top corner there, so you see match ends in. Actually, let me go back. Okay, yeah. So it says there's 2 players remaining this long until the extract. There's 17 seconds until extraction begins. So then once extraction happens, this is where the game will really ramp up when there's more than just 2 players, because if there's 2 extraction points and everyone is trying to extract, it's a bloodbath just trying to get to the extraction. And you see that a lot in a lot of these types of games, because if everyone's
so you have to extract to get all your gear out too, right?
And so
right.
You're not just home free. Like you gotta.
I love this.
Oh no, you have to. And so there's 2 extraction points, and I don't know where they are. I'm like, okay, I just got to run around until I see something. Like I got 3. I was like, I just spent 10 minutes looting all this crap. I want to at least be able to show the people something. But then you'll notice, okay, yeah, there are little markers once you get.
That dude's hands are gonna burn.
Oh yeah, just shredding them. So yeah, so this
looks like a very big map too.
It's massive. It's like I didn't see the other person one time. I heard them once because I was like, hey, where are you at? Like I want to at least see what another person looks like in this game. They're like, I don't even know. They're like, I'm at this place, but that's one thing the game's missing right now is there's no like overall map.
Yeah,
so you can't view like where you're at but whatever.
I would imagine you'd probably remember if you played it enough.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But just like any of those games, like you want that like overall map to be able to see everything that's going on, where the other people are at. Mm-hmm. It's actually one of the new features in Apex that I really like that they implemented was there's a scanner beacon where you can scan where the other people are at. Oh, dude, it's great. So
like
it's
UAV.
Like, yeah, like UAV exactly. It's awesome. So
yeah, and then you go over to the code because this door was locked previously, and so I think those different doors I found like around the map that were locked, those are just potential extraction points. So you can see damage taken, that was just from me falling. Items extracted. Let me go up a little bit more. So yeah, now I can go and
okay.
Put things into my stash.
Oh, all right.
And now since I have now I can upgrade them because I found like barrels, I found laser sights, things like that.
So all this stuff, when you extract it, is that extracting as NFTs to your MetaMask, or is that just an in-game thing?
In-game.
Okay.
The only NFT is the access pass to be able to play right now.
Okay.
And vote and be a part of the governance and things of that nature.
Right now, though, you got to think that's got to be like some of this stuff's got to be turned into NFTs, like internally.
100%.
And have their own marketplace to be able to trade like straight across. And like, hey, I want that for this. Oh, that's gonna be
the other thing as well with what was it? Shoot, what was I just gonna say? Oh, nope, it's gone.
So how active are the developers and the executives of the company with the community? Are they involved, or do they have like a public-facing set of people?
No, so they're all in the Discord, right? I mean, granted, I doubt Dr. Disrespect himself is going to talk very often. And, like some of those really tough, but like 26 of their core members are in the Discord themselves. But there's also what they have, their own, they have like 8 like support kind of technician type people that are really active that, seem to know. I was asking some questions and they weren't giving me like we need to talk with the team. They they knew what was going on, so they actually told.
Yeah, they were able to answer your questions and not give you some bullshit to hold you over.
And so, granted, since this game, so there's been 5 snapshots. Yeah, so they about every 2 months they've done a major game overhaul that's voted on by the community.
Yeah, they don't have a name for the game yet, right?
They what?
There's not a name for the game yet, right?
Deadrop.
Oh, it is Deadrop. That's right.
It is, Deadrop.
That's right.
And so, and then also, let me go back.
And so to get an access Zorro, to get an access pass, you can get them off OpenSea right now. The lowest one is 0.327 ETH. And it's on the Polygon network.
Yes.
So you need to make sure you have all that set up.
Are they blue checked so people aren't getting scammed?
Yeah, so they are. And I can link it.
Yeah, let's get some official links.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to put it in our private chat here first, and then I'll let you post it. There's the official link there.
All right.
And then here's their official website as well. And you can get all this on if you go to the Forged in Crypto tab under Faz Discord, or if you're in the Forged in Crypto Discord. All that stuff was in the infographic that we put in there, so you can link it from there as well. So,
the other thing is the access passes are going to have more utility outside of just this. For right now, this is what the Founders Access Pass has done, but they have, they've been pretty prevalent on the fact of, this is just kind of the beginning of what the utility is for this. Like those that hold like these first edition NFTs, and they're going to, potentially even do future access passes down the road, because, you're going to have access. The game will launch. Yeah, everyone will be able to play it, free to play, but then they'll still be developing new things, and you'll even be able to be a part of those future developments. I could imagine you could have access to certain esports events or things of that nature if the game gets that big, and there's going to be future utility outside of just being able to access the game when it's
just different gameplay, just in the gameplay events, and and
different tournament styles,
and just different games. Like Midnight Society itself they're gonna bring different games completely to the entire platform.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's kind of cool.
Yep. No, it's I'm really excited about this one. They just seem to be taking the right steps and using game NFTs for what I think is probably I don't know, it's hard to say best, but like one of the best purposes. I mean, I think this is what most people would buy, most traditional gamers would buy an NFT for this purpose over anything else.
I love the nod.
Absolutely.
The big nod. Hell yes.
So it really is, I can see the same thing like you were saying, some skins for maybe the assets that you own or for different weapons.
100%.
I'm betting they're going to be really reasonably priced as well. They're not going to
like
cost $400.
Well, that's why they did it on. Well, that's why they did it on Matic.
Yeah, they did on Matic.
Right, they did it on Matic for a purpose. They didn't, gas fees, right? Even, know, just doing the little thing. Oh yeah, and then
number 3,
number 4.
Number 4.
Unfortunately. So I lost everything. So you'll see like items on entry 6, items extracted 0.
Oh, that's great. I love
that. My guns that I just upgraded are gone, but the rest of the stuff I have in my loadout is still there. So this is kind of the end of the game. I mean, I just kind of dinked around for a little bit more. I was just asking some questions in the Discord, I think, even. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm really excited about it. Deadrop with 1P. 1D and 1P. That sounded weird.
Deadrop. Deadrop.
Oh, you want to talk about if there's cats in there? I'm telling you, Betty, I don't know where you come up with this stuff, but everything you've put up so far with this gaming has been like really, really quality, good stuff.
Thanks, man.
I can definitely, as much as I bitch about the gaming, unfortunately, Gala's been my first gaming experience, and we all know
one
how
to start
that.
with.
Yeah, it is. So I'm looking at some of this other stuff, and I'm like, I could see myself getting into that stuff. Even though I'm terrible at shooters, I would play it for fun. I mean, I play with, the Resident Evil with the kid and the Oculus and stuff like that. I have a blast doing that. But I enjoy games, but it puts so much stress when you have the earning and this, I've got to make up my $2,500 I spent on this stupid tank or whatever. It takes the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when I'm playing a game, like when I buy a game, I mean, granted, now with inflation, it's kind of changed. But when I was younger specifically, my thing was, however many dollars this was, I need to get that many hours of enjoyment out of it. That's how I knew it was a good purchase. I was like, if it's a $50 game, I need to get 50 hours out of this game at the minimum for it to be worth it. I'm like, because I need to have some. Now it's probably less because I am less frugal with my gaming purchases.
You made more money than you did.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good target, man.
But even still, I try to assign some sort of, okay, I need to, if I'm going to buy a game, I'm going to buy it because I'm going to play it for a while. Like, I don't.
Look, you have a concept that a lot of people don't have, which is the idea of what is my time worth?
Yeah.
Right. So, and people are like, well, I get paid right now $20 an hour. So I'm worth $20 an hour. And I'm like, okay, so you value yourself at $20 an hour. You have to look at the entirety of who you are, what you're doing, and the time that you aren't working. What value is that for you as you go forward, right? Maybe you earn $20 an hour, but now you're working 60 hours a week. Okay, what's that off hour worth to you? Do you get to spend time with your family? Do you have hobbies you want to do? Do you want to exercise? Do you want to eat right? All these things that come into play should up that value, bring your value to a certain point. And certain things change as well. And a lot of people don't get that concept. And it's actually a really hard one to really bring forth to yourself and understand, right? Like, it's not just a monetary thing, because time is the one thing we can all not get back.
Yeah.
And being able to value that when somebody says, hey, I need this, I need help moving. Okay, awesome. You're a really good friend. I value your friendship. I'm going to help you move. I'm going to take that time and I'm going to do that. Right. And it's the same way when we start doing other shit, like watching TV at night for 6 hours and, getting on a Netflix binge. Okay, well, what's that worth to you? You just took 6 hours and watched whatever fucking show for however long. So you already had that when you were looking at, I got to get $50 out of this $50 game. I got to get 50 hours worth of thing. You're already looking at that little bit. And as you move forward, there's just so much stuff that can come with that.
Well, and so I think, yeah, I mean, exactly. And so, I don't know. I think, even if you're playing, think about it this way too. I mean, if the earning is, say I pay $50 for my $50 to get into the game or whatever it is. If I make, $50 over the course of my 50 hours playing and make that, I mean, that's more than enough money, right? Because then I got that for free to a degree, right? Like I didn't be like, oh, I kind of got to have that whole 50 hours experience for free now because there's some tiny earnings. I'm not expecting to make, I'm not going to quit my job. I was going to spend my time not making anything anyway. So if I can make anything, that's better than where I was.
Well, this is something I would argue with Faz about incessantly back last year. As we've seen, like the last 3 weeks, you've had 3 kick-ass games on here. The other part of what you were saying, Nate, is vitally important, is that value of that time. You have 3 epic games. You have 2 hours, maybe, if you're lucky, a day to play these games. You've got to pick from a handful of truly epic games. That's where your eyeballs are going. That's where your money's going. That's where your passion is going. And as time goes on, more and more and more and more are opening up, and these games are going to get better and better. That's where the true nature of these blockchain games are going to shine. It's going to be your experience. You're going to go where you're treated best, where you feel most welcome, and you have the most fun. Playing with your friends, having a seamless, boom, interaction, just getting in and having fun and using that to unwind.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's
for sure, man.
And that's where I think, there will be that's why I think this game has so much potential too, because the thing on top of that, what you were just saying, when all these games are competing against regular games that are good, like they're competing with Apex, and they're competing with, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2, and they're competing with all of these games that have been in development for 8, 10, 12 years running, you know, and they keep making updates. So it will take a little time. So that's why I think having Web 2 people that already have that huge audience, I mean, they can pull. It's going to be so much easier, I would think, for Midnight Society to get followers than Gala from a gamer solely perspective.
1000% you're right.
And so that's where I think, you know, it's, you know, there has to be a first mover eventually. And so I don't know, but I think this one is really interesting. But yeah, even looking at Zoro's most recent thing, yeah, like me and my buddies just downloaded Sea of Thieves, which is like this pirate game.
How old is that game? Isn't that game from like 1999?
It's fun as hell. I don't know. Like, we're running around, we get pulled up on by another boat, and it's like there's prox chat, and it's these kids, like these little kids, and they were just, we had no clue what they're doing, and these kids definitely knew what they were doing, and they were like bullying us. And I was like, this is not okay. They were like, give us your stuff, and I was like, hell no. They're like, don't cuss. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, no, I'm not giving you my stuff. And then they're like, all right, we're gonna shoot your mask down. They send 2 shots, ace us, and I was like, what are we supposed to do? But you know, it's like me and my buddies hopped on after work. We were just playing around. Like, I mean, it was just hilarious. The whole thing was, it could have been a YouTube video. It was so funny. And so,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
Good.
you play games. I didn't play that game because I thought I was going to progress very far because I'm trying to get on a leaderboard. Like, it was just, oh, there's this game that we can all get with Game Pass. Let's get it for free and try it. So,
Game Pass.
Absolutely.
That's a big one.
Game Pass.
It is.
It's the best thing to ever come to gaming. And, like, I mean, the other side of it too is, I mean, now that I'm on a PC, I have Game Pass still. It's my same account.
Yeah.
Because PC has Game Pass too, so I can play Xbox games that I've already bought and stuff like that. I mean, it's all in one place. I can play cross ecosystem. It's, yeah. And then for $10 a month, you get access to hundreds of AAA games.
It's the Apple model. It's simple, it's beautiful, and it just works.
Yeah.
That's the way
Spotify,
you get
you know?
mass adoption. Yeah, that's
People
how you
don't
get
buy-
people on your platform.
I couldn't tell you the last album I actually bought. I mean, I just stream them.
Oh yeah. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So.
All right, gentlemen, your final thoughts before we head out of here.
Go ahead, Blake. All right, I'll start.
Yeah.
All right, I think this show should be called the Titan Radio for this show.
No, this
He's
is
gone.
this
Let's
is
just wait. Can we have should we bash Faz since he's gone? He can't mute us.
you got a point there.
We can go in on God. Let the dogs out.
Well, yeah, he can't argue back. So this is where I'll tell you what Faz really said, not just his show stuff where he defends Gala. No, I'm kidding. He is an old school gamer, and this stuff. And I told him this offline during one of our conversations, and this is something he dreamed about as a kid, this blockchain gaming, where you can maybe earn some money, where you can have something that has transferable value and all this. That's what he dreamed about when he was younger. And that's what gets him excited, is the capabilities that he only dreamt of before now becoming reality. I can see why he's so passionate about it.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's good, man. That wasn't really Faz bashing, but that's cool. You do it. You do you.
Yeah, I can't give him too much shit. I mean, he's handed me my ass a few times, and I could pay him back well. But when it comes down to it, he is more of the technical side of things. I'm more of the practical side of things. And that's why we play off each other so well. I want to see results. He wants to see progress. He's happy with progress. I'm not. I want to see results.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, it's just half full, half empty kind of thing.
I get it.
No, it's good. I like to talk shit when people are actually here. So
No, I know, right? We have a
better.
joke about that at my day job. You know, we blame everything on the person who's out that day because they're not there to defend themselves.
Wait,
No,
is that the Gala model?
Yeah, basically.
It might be. It might be. They wait till people quit or get fired, and then they rip them a new one.
That was that person's fault.
Right? That's why they're not here anymore. Oh, okay. Well, cool. Hey, guys, another kick-ass Thursday night. Appreciate you guys taking the time for this. Those listening, thanks for suffering through with us, learning new stuff as we go along. This is really, we don't act on this thing. Betty shows us this stuff for the first time when we do it, so these are our genuine reactions.
Yeah.
So we will catch you tomorrow night for regular Faz Radio, and next week for Thursday with Forged in Crypto and Betty Orby.
Hell yeah.
We're out.
Good
Have a
seeing
good
you
night,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Wait, Titan. We have our pre-recorded outro to do. Can you say your thing so that people will know?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, like, subscribe, and throw some comments below. That helps us, which in turn helps us provide you with much, much better content every week. Thanks for being a listener. Thanks for supporting the channel. I don't know what button I'm supposed to push to get the background.
It's the best, though. I don't know. This is the best ending that we've had. I love it. This is great.
See you later.
Hit end.